Hey guys, welcome back to Garden State Growing. My name is Eric, and today we're going to talk about garden disappointment. All right, here we are. We're sitting in front of my beds that I planted to my tomatoes, and like I said, the title of the video is Garden Disappointment. And what I did was I planted all my tomatoes. We had 2 weeks of really nice weather. It looked like the last frost had come and gone. My last frost is between April 5th and April 15th. I got my tomatoes in the ground. It was beautiful for close to a week. And then all of a sudden, today is the 12th. Today is Easter Sunday. On the 9th, I believe it was either the 9th or the 10th, it went down to 27 degrees. It was snowing and hailing, and my tomatoes got hit hard. Let me bring you in and show you what happened to my tomatoes. I'm actually very impressed, but look at my yellow stuffer there. Major leaf damage. Major leaf damage again with the yellow stuffers. They got hit hard. My mortgage lifter, this one looks okay. That one is decimated, absolutely decimated. That mortgage lifter may survive. I got the persimmons. I mean, I think you really get the point of what happened. Some of them are doing okay. Some of them downright died. I had this alpaca here, which is a beautiful tomato, and it completely died altogether. That alpaca looks like it may survive. Besides the point, I mean, really, look at this. Yeah, see, that'll never survive. What is that? That is one of my black crim. They got hit really hard. I have another black crim that may survive. Here's a black seaman. That's completely dead. The wind was like 50 miles an hour and just completely destroyed the plants. It was horrible. You couldn't even be out here with a jacket on. It was that bad. So I took a huge hit with hardening off these plants. These are my blueberries. They're doing all right. So as you can see, I took a huge hit on my tomatoes. Some of these are not going to survive, and the other ones that are going to survive, they've been so hard hit with transplant shock because of that 27-degree weather that came in the hail, that it's going to set these plants behind a good month, probably, from where they were. So I just wanted to kind of dive into garden disappointment. If you're gonna start a garden, and I'm sure some of the more experienced gardeners that might watch this understand that there's a lot of things we can control. We can control soil conditions, we can control moisture, we can control pH, we can control nutrition, but we cannot control Mother Nature, and we never know what Mother Nature is going to do. And this came as a surprise. In New Jersey, Central Jersey, where we are, we usually go from like winter, and then we have a very short spring, and then we immediately go into summer, and it starts getting really hot really quick. And I wanted to get these tomatoes into the ground before we just started going into 80-degree days. I got them in, and we got hit with that cold snap, and now they're hurting. Now, a couple of tricks to alleviate garden disappointment. And if you noticed, when I was going around, you probably already saw the one trick to alleviate garden disappointment is to plant multiple plants. So even though like I lost that one alpaca tomato plant, I still had two more in the ground that may survive. They probably will. I've had plants that had transplant shock really bad survive worse than that. I think they're going to be okay. We'll see. Wednesday's supposed to be another cold snap, but it's only supposed to get down to about 37, so I think I'll be okay. and I don't think the winds are going to be 50 miles an hour and hail and snow. Another way to alleviate garden disappointment is have backups, have lots of backups. And my greenhouse is still filled to the brim with tomato plants. So even though I may not see a specific variety of tomato plant that's here, you know, I might lose one completely and never get to see what that tomato is going to look like or taste like. At least I have a whole greenhouse full of plants that I can still plant. I try to tell people when they ask me, you know, a lot of people, they want to start, you know, gardening, and they want to plant like a tomato plant and just put it out on their porch or on their deck or by a windowsill or something like that. I always tell them, if you've got room to grow one, you've got room to grow three. And at least this way, you'll have a backup to whatever it is. If you plant one tomato plant and it gets devastated by aphids or spider mites or nematodes or blight or weather, you know, or Mother Nature, and you lose all your tomatoes, you're going to be severely disappointed, and you might not try gardening again. So, like I said, if you grow one plant, grow three. You know, they could be three of the same variety, or they could be three different varieties. And then this way, if you have one, like some of these tomatoes I've never grown before, so I don't know how they produce. I don't know how they grow. I don't know how well they're going to do specifically in Central Jersey, and not just Central Jersey, but my garden in particular, the way I set up my soil, how I choose to add nutrition to that soil. I don't, you know, some tomatoes like certain conditions compared to others. So, you know, you always want to have extras. You always want to have backups. That's a great way to, you know, to do it. You know, another thing is like when you come into gardening, I don't want to say you want to come in with the attitude that you're going to fail, but you should definitely come in with the content realization that it may just fail. I've had entire gardens be wiped out. I mean, one year, I don't know, we had like locusts or grasshoppers or whatever, for whatever reason, and they just came and they chewed, and there was nothing you could do to stop them. You put up bird netting, they chewed through the bird netting. No lie. And they got in, and they just completely decimated an entire garden. And all that work I did that entire year was shot and done. But I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I used it as a learning lesson, and I moved on, and I restarted. Now, if I lose an entire variety of tomato that I have here, and I don't at least have one plant to let me see what that tomato is going to look like and experience the taste and the flavor of that tomato, I'm going to start over again. It's okay. We're, you know, April 12th. I still have plenty of time to start over. I can do seedlings inside in my grow tent, put them underneath the grow light, get them up and big, get them out to the greenhouse for a little bit, and then get them in the ground. And they may be behind, but they're not going to be any farther behind than what I've got in this bed right now, because, like I said, transplant shock like this, these tomatoes are in survival mode right now. They're not looking to grow bigger. They're not looking to establish better roots. They're just trying to survive. They're trying to, you know, put out some more leaves to replace the damaged ones, and that's about it right now, which is literally going to set them behind. So that's fine. And last but not least, to avoid or mitigate, I should definitely say mitigate, because I am disappointed, but to mitigate disappointment in the garden is to keep on planting more. Just keep on going. As you can see right now, I made some changes to my tomato bed. I added some onions, and that's going to be on the next video on how I plant onions, and garlic in my tomato beds and why. So if you like this content, if you enjoy what you see here, if you know, I wanted to, a lot of these gardening channels, they only show you success. They might talk about their failures, but they don't show you their failures. This is definitely not a failure, but a disappointment, a definite setback. So like I said, if you like this content, you want to see more of it, please hit that like button. It tells YouTube that there is something interesting in this content, and they will help to broadcast it to a wider audience, and maybe this channel will get a little bit of traction. You know, try to share these videos if you can, and hit that bell icon so you can get more notifications on when I come out with more videos. I hope you enjoyed this again. And we're going to move on, and the next episode is going to be onions and garlic in my tomato bed.